friends, welcome to this week's episode of Real World Basics. Today we are going to be talking about flat tires. So, when you have a flat tire, it always seems to happen at the most inconvenient time, like late at night or when you're running late for something like work or school. So today we are going to go through changing your tires step by step, and we'll talk about some tips and tricks that will make things easier when it comes time for you to change your tire. So to go along with today's video, I've included a couple of video resources. The first two are for filling your tires up with air, which will go over a little bit later in today's video. There's two videos, one with a manual tire pressure gauge and the second with an automatic tire pressure gauge, just because you might encounter different ones at different gas stations. You might have one but not the other at home, which is totally fine. Just want to make sure you have the resources for whichever one you encounter. And the third resource is a step-by-step video on how to actually change your tire. And in that video, there are some good information. There is some good information, some tips and tricks in there that we might not go over in today's video. So how do you know your tire is flat? The first thing would be how it looks. So when you approach your car, if you look at it maybe from the front or the back, you would see a tire kind of ballooning out at the sides. Or if you were to look at it head on, you would see it's kind of sagging into the ground instead of setting firmly up onto the ground. The second thing is your dashboard light. Now your dashboard light might go on without any physical indication that the tire is flat. And if that's the case, it's possible you might have a slow leak, or maybe the tire pressure has slightly changed because of the seasons and the air pressure. But when your dashboard light goes on, if you have maybe a newer car with a display screen, you can sometimes toggle through the settings to see what the specific tire pressure readings are for each tire, and that'll let you know which one you need to take a look at. And the third one is noise. So when your tire is flat, maybe it happens while you're driving, sometimes you will hear a loud pop that indicates your tire has burst, or sometimes you'll hear just a weird flapping noise coming from underneath you. And all of those are great indicators that you need to pull over and take a look at your tires. Now, when you fill up your tires with air, you want to go by the PSI, which is the pressure per square inch. Every tire and car has kind of a different PSI setting, so look at your owner's manual to determine what your car needs. And as the seasons change, as I mentioned, the air pressure can sometimes cause tires to inflate and deflate, so you might need to adjust the tire pressure as the seasons change. And if you have a slow leak in your car, you might not necessarily have to change your tire right away. You can sometimes fill up your tire with air to compensate for what it's lost, drive on it for a short period of time, see how quickly it deflates before you bring it in to get it fixed. But when you have a slow leak, sometimes maybe you've run over a nail or a piece of debris in the road or something like that. You don't want to pull the foreign object out, because that's kind of what's plugging the hole. You can take a picture of it to mark where it is so you don't lose it, and you can show it to the people at the tire repair center. But do get it checked as soon as you're able to. But if you notice it maybe before you hit the road for work that day, you can sometimes just fill up your tire with air to get you through till you're able to get your tire into the shop. Now, for changing your tire, you want to check out the step-by-step video. It's a short video that I've included for you to access just in case you are pulling up today's video. When you have a flat tire, you can check that out, and it jumps right into the action of changing your tire. And just a couple of tips and tricks for when you're actually there changing your tire. When you are using your jack, you want to be really careful where you put it underneath your car. That's because there are a lot of pieces down there that can't bear the entire weight of the car, such as like plastic, like your oil trays and things like that. And to put your jack underneath there and to put the whole weight of your car on there can do some really serious damage. When you are going to take off your tire, you want to first check and see if you have wheel locks, because those require an additional piece to remove the lug nuts from the car. So knowing where that piece is before you get started is really helpful. And if you have maybe an older car, this has happened to me. My tires weren't changed for a really long time and the wheels were literally rusted on. So we got it up in the air, we pulled all the lug nuts off, and when it came time to pull the tire off, it was literally rusted to the frame. So nobody could pull it off. But when I called roadside service, they told me to stand with my back to the car, put my foot up on the side of the car, on the side of the tire, and to donkey kick it. And that pressure and that angle was able to pop the tire off. So you want to make sure, of course, that you are not doing this on the side of the highway. I was in a driveway. So you can always call roadside assistance if something while you're changing your tire goes wrong. If you live in the state of Virginia, we have the traffic safety trucks that patrol all of the major interstates and are able to help you change a tire if you are unable to or you feel that it is unsafe. Now, once you get the spare tire or donut on your car, you have to keep in mind that donuts are not meant for long-term driving. They are also not meant for high-speed driving. So if this happens to you when you are on the highway or the interstate, you want to make sure you keep your speeds lower so that you don't bust up your donut, because then what are you going to do? You're out of spare tires. So keep your speeds lower, drive with your flashers on if you have to. People will go around you, don't worry about them. Focus on you. And get your tire and your car into an auto shop as soon as you're able to, so you can get another tire back on your car. So since your tires are literally what's keeping you and your car attached to the road, you want to make sure that they are kept properly filled up, as that helps keep you safely on the road. So take good care of your tires and try to avoid doing things like hitting the curb, a curb check, driving through debris on the road, and ignoring your tire light on your dashboard when it goes on. And next week's video is going to go over headlights and what you need to do to change them and keep them clean. And next week's video actually times up perfectly because the turn signal on my driver's side has gone out, so we will change that together. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions for videos you'd like to see in upcoming Real World Basics videos, please don't hesitate to reach out to us either through email or on social media. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!